Well, Jim, we have to talk about one of the big issues, and it is an issue that we have not spoken about here on the show just yet, and it's surprising because it's been one of the big topics in wrestling, so let's get right to it. The hot button issue. What are your thoughts on Cody Rhodes and this rubber chicken?
Well, at first I suspectified Svengoolie. I thought it might have had something to do with him. I thought he might have been there. He's a big wrestling fan, but he came out on Twitter and disavowed any involvement whatsoever in the unglorious incident where Cody Rhodes ended up laying in the ring face down on WrestleMania night, a loser with a rubber chicken beside his head. It was not our friend from Chicago, Svengoolie.
Well, no one thought it was
the king of the rubber chicken. Well, every time somebody sees a rubber chicken, they think of Sven.
Well, they could think of him, but they wouldn't think he was the one throwing it. It could be someone. Usually they throw rubber chickens at Svengoolie.
Well, it's about time he started fighting back, isn't it?
At Cody Rhodes?
Well,
at WrestleMania?
Cody could have been one of those mysterious, nameless, faceless chicken chokers and chuckers.
Do you think
how much does the job as the chicken chucker pay?
Oh, I don't know. How many chickens could a chicken chucker chuck?
How many chickens could a chicken chuck if a chicken could chuck chickens?
Do you think this is a build-up to next year's WrestleMania, Cody versus Svengoolie?
Oh, I thought you were going to say Cody versus the chicken.
Cody versus the rubber chicken.
No, it would only be that if it was Olivier. If it was at AEW, then I'm pretty sure they'd book him with a rubber chicken. He's choked enough of them.
Do you think Vince could convince Kenny Omega to be the rubber chicken if he comes in and says, we need you to have more charisma, more personality? Have you ever thought about being a rubber chicken?
I think old Kenny would have one thing to say. Gobbledygook.
I do feel bad Cody's laying there selling it. And again, I said it when we reviewed WrestleMania. He sold it the whole time Roman was walking back. Cody's just in the ring by himself. It's sad. And there's a rubber chicken next to him.
But at least he wasn't alone. He wasn't all alone. He had his chicken to comfort him.
Have you ever before seen that as an item or an object thrown into the ring?
Honestly, no, I don't think so. And I mean, I've seen a lot of different things thrown into the ring and had different things thrown at me. I've made a list of them for the Tales from the Territories shoot last season. But I mean, it's usually something that you would carry on your person. I mean, I've had shoes, Vaseline jars. That was because those old fashioned glass ones, not the plastic ones, but the glass ones with the metal lid. Boy, even if an old woman fucking sidearms one of those at you, it'll do some damage, but never a rubber chicken. One time, one guy in Cleveland threw his fucking shoe, walked right up and threw his shoe at me. And you know what I did?
What did you do?
I grabbed it, held it up, showed it to him, and threw it under the ring. He was a one shoe hopping on 1 foot going home motherfucker that night, I bet you, because it was cold too.
Do you think he hangs out until the very, very end and, excuse me, my shoe is under that
They
ring?
cleared the buildings in those days. You could not hang around.
Excuse me, Jim Cornette threw my shoe under the ring. Can you help me?
Well, then they'd say, how'd Jim Cornette get your shoe?
A few years back, there was this great clip that happened. I don't know why this is all reminding me of. I guess just because it's so ridiculous. It's not garbage. It's a rubber chicken that ended up next to Cody. But a few years ago at Major League Baseball, or in a Major League Baseball game, I forget even who the game was, who was playing, a fan went and tried to catch a ball, but it interfered with the player trying to catch it, and the player didn't catch it, and another fan a few rows away was so disgusted, he just threw an entire slice of pizza at the other fan, but it comes out of nowhere because no one's paying attention to this other person, and you just see this pizza, and you've never seen a triangle pizza travel with like no gravity. It just like moves through the air and just hits the guy in the side of the face. But anyway, rubber chicken.
You know the Murdoch cup of ice story, don't you?
No, what's that?
Well, in the old days when they sold, I guess they still do now, even, plastic cups with ice in it for drinks, people would pour the liquid out and ball the ice up in the large cup and it became a rock, right? And boy, I've stood up on the ring and got pelted with one of those right in the fucking nuts, and it was not fun. But Murdoch is wrestling in Mid-South somewhere, the Mid-South territory one night. It may have been against Killer Carl Cox, his, hero, who knows? But Murdoch is going to he's the heel, he's going to turn around after he's done something. This is the spot. And the babyface is going to drop kick him in the back. He's going to take a bump over the top rope. Well, he does whatever the fuck he does, and he turns around, starts yelling at the fans, and before the babyface gets up, somebody winged from the balcony one of those fucking ice cups, and it hit him right in between the shoulder blades. He thought it was the drop kick, and he went 10 feet forward and straight over the top rope. Fucking.
I had not heard that before, no.
So there you go.
Well, Cody should be happy it was only a rubber chicken.
It was only a chicken.
Seemingly a harmless chicken. But, Jim, let's get to an issue that's actually...
You know what? Mama Cornette always used to say, sometimes the chickens come home to roost.